I sit beside the fire tonight, and I speak of a story that was given to me by my elders, a story carried on the breath of drums and the flowing voice of the great Zambezi river. I remember when our people lived in peace beside the water, when fishermen pushed their canoes in the morning mist, when mothers sang to the river as if it were a child, and when we taught our young ones that the water listened, that the river had a spirit, and that spirit was Nyami Nyami, the great serpent guardian, whose ancient eyes watched us from beneath the shining surface. I remember the days when the dreams began, when a young woman named Chimika walked to the river, and the water blew still like glass. She told us she had a voice older than memory, a voice that spoke to her and said, "My child, they are coming." And soon the earth began to tremble. Strangers arrived with roaring machines, iron that screamed like wounded animals. They said they would tame the river. They said they would build a wall across its heart. But we elders knew the truth. You do not cage a living spirit. I watched our people become divided. Some followed the promise of money and new homes. Others clung to the old songs and sacred land. And Chimika soon began to fall into trances, her voice no longer her own, for Nyami Nyami spoke through her, saying, the river was wounded. He had been torn from his beloved wife, and then the storms came. Cloud black as night swallowed the sky, lightnings beat the gorge, and the floods rose like giant coiled serpents crashing against stone and steel. I saw men drop their tools. I saw fear in eyes that once mocked our mornings. And even the foreign engineer began to listen to the silence between kanda. The night of greatest sorrow arrived, when the river roared like a grieving father. They
have separated me from my wife. I am alone in my own home.
The water rose higher than any memory, and in the heart of the storm, I swear upon my ancestors, I saw Nyami Nyami rise, vast and glowing beside the dam. Not a monster, but a guardian broken by loss. His cry echoed across the sky and storm, a sound of love, anger. And then the storm faded, the water fell silent, and the great serpent returned to the Lake Kariba. Time passed. Our people moved to new shores. We built new homes beside the new lake, but we carried the old stories in our hearts, carving his image into wood, singing his name to our children, because I learned that rivers hold memory, and spirits walk beside those who remember. And even now, when I sit by the water at sunset, I feel the presence beneath the ripples. I know Nyami Nyami still listens, and as long as I speak, as long as you listen, the river will never be silent.